Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, and that is right. I'm already going to go ahead and reveal my first 2021 NFL mock draft, and not only am I revealing this one, but I'm announcing now that there will be weekly mock drafts here on this channel every Tuesday or Wednesday until the 2021 NFL Draft. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know my mock drafts are on point. I have, if not the most accurate, one of the most accurate mock drafts out there, because every single week I make a tweak here, I make a tweak there, and I also listen to you. I love hearing your criticisms, your comments, because it helps me really understand what each team really wants out of their drafts, and that's why I consistently get 7, 8, 9 picks right in the first round. So weekly mock drafts moving forward, and we're beginning today. So this is the first draft. This is the rough draft. Go ahead and scrutinize, criticize, and I'll make my tweaks for next week whenever it's actually going to be the postseason. I should have waited until next week, but I couldn't wait. Week 17, it's the holidays, it's New Year's Eve. So I was like, hey, let's just go ahead and do it now, 2021 NFL mock draft. So, as you probably noticed, at the very bottom of your screen, you're seeing the first 16 picks scrolling by. I will switch that in the next minute, okay? And then you will have, be able to see the second half of my mock draft as well. And then in terms of the videos, okay, I only talk about whatever I want to talk about every single week. I'm not going to talk about every single pick every single week. I might do it next week, and I'll probably do it right before the draft and maybe after the combine, but not every week. Today, though, we're going to focus on quarterbacks. We're going to focus on the top 10. Next week, I'll come up with another focus point. But this week is focusing on the top 10, focusing on where I'm struggling with my mock right now, and hearing feedback from you guys. Because, again, this is a collaborative effort here on Sports Fan Entertainment. So, what about these first 10 picks? What about the quarterbacks in this 2021 NFL draft? Because we're already beginning discussions about the quarterbacks in this draft. And let us begin with the quarterback out of Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. This is the guy, right? This is the generational talent as he is being proclaimed by the media. And I'm here to report, yeah, he's pretty damn good. Now, I'm not going to go all in and say that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, because the last time we said this, Andrew Luck, by the way, who we're talking about, he went into the NFL and he played very well, but he was playing for a franchise that did not want to protect him, and he barely played. Did he even play 10 years? No, he didn't. He played like 8 or 9, okay? So I'm not going to sit here and go ahead and proclaim that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, because you never know, especially because this man is likely headed to the Jacksonville Jaguars, one of the most inept franchises in NFL history. And considering the fact that at least at one point the Browns were really good, I can really make the argument the most inept franchise in NFL history in Jacksonville. Truly. I mean, their claim to fame is their 1999 season in which they lost to the Tennessee Titans 3 times. That's their claim to fame, people. The Jaguars stink. And I'm here for it because I'm a Titans fan. So Trevor Lawrence, he's going to be headed to Jacksonville most likely, unless if he's able to find a way to get himself out of there. Because you know what? I know a lot of people didn't, he thought that he was fearful of going to the Jets. Look, he is fearful about going to any of these teams. I mean, there's a reason why these teams are picking at the top of the draft. They're all bad, but I'd rather go to the Jets than the Jaguars, because there's been way more periods of the Jets being good than the Jaguars being good. Personally, there's never been a period, really, of the Jaguars being good for more than 1-2 years. I mean, come on, what are we talking about? So, he's going to go to the Jaguars. What will he do for the Jaguars? Well, we're going to continue to discuss that over the upcoming months. But he will be very similar to Andrew Luck to me. Maybe a little bit less, because the Colts are a better franchise than the Jaguars. And, we'll see. They already have some offensive talent. We saw what James Robinson, the running back, was able to do in his rookie year this year. They have a Laviska Shenault who showed some things this year. DJ Chark. They have some weapons offensively. The offensive line is a little up and down. Jawan Taylor, Cam Robinson, the tackles there. He's still young, still improving, but haven't solidified themselves as starters. The defense stinks. The defense is awful. Although there are some young players and some promising players, the defense was terrible this year. So, they're going to have to surround it with more talent for sure, but I mean, Trevor Lawrence, at the very least, should enter Jacksonville and at the very least solidify himself as a franchise quarterback. Now, will he be this Hall of Famer? Will he be, Aaron Rodgers level? Will he be Patrick Mahomes level? It just depends on how much talent they put around him. And if I'm him, I'm finding any way possible to get out of there. I'd rather go to New York because at least I know in New York, Adam Gase will be out of there. And then at the very least, again, it's a better franchise. But that's just me. But then who's going to go second? Okay, who is going to go second in this draft to the New York Jets? Will the Jets even select a quarterback? Right now, they're happy with Sam Darnold, their quarterback who they drafted in the 2018 draft out of USC. They still like Sam Darnold, I think. And I really like Sam Darnold coming out of USC. But first of all, they put him with Adam Gase, which is ridiculous. I mean, this man is a ruiner of offensive talent. And if you need any proof of this, look at what Ryan Tannehill is doing without Adam Gase. Look at what Devonta Parker is doing without Adam Gase. Look at what the Dolphins as a team are doing without Adam Gase. I mean, Adam Gase is awful, people. He's terrible. He ruins everything he touches. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I still believe that Darnold can play, but also just might be time to move on. And they just really have to evaluate whether or not they believe a Zach Wilson or a Justin Fields is better than Darnold. And not only better than Darnold, but think about Darnold coming out because, and I'm just beginning my analysis on Zach Wilson and Justin Fields, but I'm not confident either one is a much better prospect than Darnold was, and Darnold was only drafted 3 years ago, right? So there's still a lot of untapped potential with a Sam Darnold. Okay, now he's had some injury problems, which I don't like. So if you want to move on from Wilson or move on to Wilson or Fields, I would understand if injuries is a big part of it, but if it's just play on the football field, I say hold on. And when it comes to Justin Fields, by the way, I say hold on, people. I'm not buying it yet. Now, I was a huge fan of Kyler Murray coming out of college, and that is the best case scenario that I'm seeing for Justin Fields. Justin Fields ain't no Kyler Murray, okay? He is not Kyler Murray, not yet, okay? He is not the type of prospect Kyler Murray was, not as advanced of a thrower as Kyler Murray was coming in college, doesn't have as good of an arm as Kyler Murray had coming out of college, and I don't think has we'll see about their measure in terms of speed, but athleticism, I'll say it's close. Now, he does have the size advantage over him, but Kyler Murray's been doing fine with the size disadvantage in the NFL anyway. Justin Fields this year has not played very well against top teams. Okay, that's something that I've noticed, and we're going to see, and we're still accumulating data, how he does this weekend in the college football playoff. But for right now, I got Zach Wilson over Justin Fields, and that's why in this mock I have the Jets taking Zach Wilson instead of Justin Fields. And then some people might say, well, wow, you don't have the Falcons taking Justin Fields? Nope. I mean, I think the Falcons right now understand that Matt Ryan isn't the problem. Now, is he great? No, he's not great. But he's not the problem right now in Atlanta. The problems go beyond him. It has more to do with the culture. It has more to do with the defense. Every single year, this defense is just absolutely awful. And I think they're going to ride out Matt Ryan for at least another year. At least. I'd even argue for more. I don't think he's really going anywhere anytime soon in Atlanta, to be honest with you. But I think for the very least, the next couple of years before they really move on from him. So I'm not saying Justin Fields to Atlanta right now at all. And that'd be bold, man. I think they'd regret that down the road. That's just me personally. I mean, Matt Ryan doesn't have many years left, but he still has significant. I mean, he drafted in 2008? He still has a lot of years left. So I was stick with Matt Ryan, and I think that's what they're going to do as they evaluate these quarterbacks more and more. Now, some of you may say, and now I've already forgot, I got on my own rant. I never even switched the second half of the mock, so I'll switch it now. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the second half of the mock, if it'll scroll by, if it would be so kind to me. Thank you. Now, we look at these other quarterbacks right now. We have Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. Okay. Interesting. A lot of, talent there, but playing for North Dakota State, not really being proven at this point. It's interesting. And then some of you might say, well, why don't you have Mac Jones, going any higher than I currently have him? Right now, I mean, I'm seeing some mock drafts with 6 quarterbacks in the first round. I mean, I just can't do it right now. I can put 5, and the 5th one is going to be the end of the first round. I'm telling you. I know the Washington football team is desperate for a quarterback. I just don't think they're going to take Mac Jones at 19. They can't do it again, right? They just took Haskins at 15 only a couple years ago because they told themselves that they needed a quarterback. Let's just take the best one on the board, despite the fact that he's not really a first-round prospect. Now, Mac Jones might be. But I don't think that they're going to settle for whoever's there at 19. They're either going to trade up for somebody in the beginning of the second, which is what I have, or trade up in the first for somebody. I don't think they're just going to sit at 19, wait for Mac Jones, and take Mac Jones. As opposed to who I have taking Mac Jones, and that would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are sitting there with a 43, gonna be 44-year-old Tom Brady, and they're fine taking Mac Jones at 26 if he falls there, because they need a backup plan for Tom Brady, because now it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, the guy's gonna be done soon. He had a great year this year, really, he had a pretty good year. But he's going to be done soon, right? They need to prepare a backup plan, and Mac Jones will be that for them. So I even cringed at putting 5 quarterbacks in the first round. I don't think it's really going to happen. I say 4. But for this mock, for my first mock, okay, I did it. Okay, so that's what I did. And I'm going to continue to evaluate these guys and give you my opinions. But for right now, yes, I have number 1, Trevor Lawrence, 2, Zach Wilson, 3, Justin Fields, and then 4... I would have probably had Mac Jones before Trey Lance. I'm still evaluating Trey Lance, but I probably would have Mac Jones. But right now, Trey Lance has more hype, so that's why I have Trey Lance going to the Denver Broncos as opposed to Mac Jones. So there you go. That is my first 2021 NFL mock draft. One more thing that I really wanted to know, Cardinal fans sitting there at 17, what do you guys want? I mean, I really don't know. I really wanted to give you guys an offensive lineman, so I did. But I didn't know how open the Cardinals are to drafting a corner. You know, do they still feel really comfortable with Patrick Peterson? For me, his play has been regressing for years now. Byron Murphy's been only okay. I personally wanted to go corner. I thought offensive lineman, they've already invested there. They're going to invest there again. I struggle with the Cardinals. So Cardinals fans, if you could tell me what you guys are looking for at 17, I would love to know. And also Cowboy fans, which one are you preferring right now? Getting a pass rusher like Kwity Paye, who I gave you, or would you take cornerback and Caleb Farley? You know, that's one other thing that I struggled with in this mock. So comment down below, Cowboys and Cardinals fans on that. And everyone, just comment down below as we continue to refine this 2021 NFL mock draft. So there you go. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.